What's up guys, this is YGO and welcome back to the channel, and today guys I'm bringing you the much awaited, updated Skull Servant deck profile for the midterm destruction format. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, this format is not favorable at all to Skull Servants because there's a lot of stuff going around that disrupts the graveyard, such as the fossil deck with this skill, or things like the Kaikos in the side decks, soul releases, etc, etc. But we still build the deck the best we can for this format, and guys, I finally managed to crack up a decent build at least, and we had to double down on our defenses to make this deck work a little bit better. So guys, without any further ado, let's get into the profile itself, and first we start with the skill, its bonds, and it's Servants of the Fallen King. Same skill as before, which once per turn allows you to send one level 3 or lower normal zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard, which will be Skull Servant. So you always pray not to draw the Skull Servants and instead send them to the graveyard with your skills effect. Moving on into the main deck, we play 30 card deck now, because like I said, we had to double down on some defensive traps in order to not die to decks like fossils really quick and to have some defenses against more aggressive decks, and so we now play a 30 card build. So we start with 3 copies of King of the Skull Servant. This is the big boss monster of the deck. It gets really big, you can creature swap it away to your opponent's side of the field and it becomes a 0 attack monster, and if it gets destroyed by battle, you can banish one King or one Skull Servant from your graveyard and you can bring it back from the graveyard. We also play the triple Skull Servants. These are mandatory, so 3 of each. If we could, we play more names, but there are no more names in Speed Duel as of right now, so we play these 3 of each. Next, we play double copy of Goblin Zombie. This is just a zombie searcher. We use it to search either Skull Servant or mainly the King of Skull Servant, and by the way, Goblin Zombie can also search itself. We also play double copy of Zombina. This is just here to give our deck more survivability, and if it dies you can bring back any level 4 or lower monster from your graveyard, and usually you'll be bringing the tech cards I'll be showing you next, or the King of the Skull Servants. Moving on, we play 1 copy of Giant Rat. This is here because you can bring it back with Zombina, and you can bring the Earth monster from your deck that has 1500 attack or less when it gets destroyed by battle. So you can bring things such as the Neo-Spacian Grand Mole, that's an amazing card that bounces back monsters to the hand alongside with itself, or stuff like the Exploder Dragon, which destroys a monster that destroyed him by battle, and it says that neither player takes any battle damage from battles involving this card. So these cards together with Zombina create for a very nice control loop of the game. Moving on into the spells, we play 1 Book of Life, just one way to bring back your zombies from the graveyard, so stuff from Zombina to Goblin Zombie to even Skull Servant or King of the Skull Servant, and at the same time you banish one monster from your opponent's graveyard, which actually comes up more than you would think in this format. Next, we play double copy of Creature Swap. Like I said, this card is insane in this deck. There's a lot of uses for it, stuff like giving your opponent the Giant Rat in order to trigger its effect, or the Goblin Zombie in order to trigger to search, or even the Skull Servant to take away one of their stronger monsters, and even giving them the King to their side of the field, and then he will become a 0 attack monster, so you can use this as an alternative win condition for when you're out of gas with your Skull Servants. Moving on, we play triple copy of Night Beam, and guys, these should be 3 MSTs, but I do not have enough MSTs to go around, and Night Beam is still a very good card and people are not playing it at all anymore, so they are not as much as expecting Night Beam on this format, so we can take some advantage of that and we play 3 and it actually works out better than you would expect. Now we finish the spells and now we move on into the traps. We play 1 copy of Floodgate Trapple, an insane card still, it's only limited to 1, if we could, we would play more. We play double Haunted Shrine. I decided not to play 3 copies of it because it feels way too bricky. 2 is like the sweet spot. This card is basically a double reborn. You can activate it once on the field and once on the graveyard by banishing it, and each time you can only activate this if you don't control any monsters, and you basically bring back a zombie monster from your graveyard. But keep in mind that when you use the graveyard effect to banish it and resurrect back a zombie, the zombie that will be brought back from the graveyard will have its effects negated. Moving on, we play double copy of Wall of Disruption, and now we start getting into the defensive traps. Like I said, there's a lot of aggressive decks going around, and we hard lose to those, therefore we play a lot of defensive traps. So we start by playing 2 Wall of Disruption and triple Sakuretsu Armor just to destroy their stronger monsters, and also triple Widespread Ruin. And guys, this rounds out the deck. Like I said, 30 card build, a lot of defensive cards, but don't worry, I know we lose a little bit to spell and trap removal, and that's why I'm gonna show you a little card that I play on the side deck to deal with that, or to help deal with that. But first we move on into the side deck, and guys, this time it actually matters. So we play 1 Cyber End Dragon, 1 Cyber Blader, 1 Aljama King, 1 Arcana Knight Joker, 1 Thousand Eyes Restrict, and 1 Destiny and Dragoon. These are the best targets for what you ask, for Waking the Dragon that I play on the side deck, guys. These are the 6 best targets, I would say, personal preference, but these for me are the 6 best targets you can bring with Waking the Dragon. And you should always play Waking the Dragon when you're running a deck that's heavy on traps, like mine. So in this situation I'm running 1, and I'll show you. I'm running 1 copy, but I'm thinking of bumping this up to 2, and even maybe playing 1 copy on the main deck, maybe cut out 1 Sakuretsu Armor for it, but if I do change the deck in the future, I'll update it for you guys, don't worry. So, we play in the side deck 1 Waking, we also play 1 Mind Crush. It's still a good card overall, really good against decks like Fossil, still very good against Cyber Angel, even good against the Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon when they reveal it in hand to equip, stuff like that. Overall a very good card. And then we play double Lost Wind. This card is amazing, this format. I would not play any less than 2. This card is just insane. And finally, the last 2 cards, 2 more traps, double Woboku. Like I said, we want to defend ourselves. There's legs running around that are very aggressive and can very easily win the game against us, because we're more of a grindy, slow deck, so we need time to set up our game board, and therefore we play more defensive stuff like this to help out. And guys, that's it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like down below, comment what you think about the deck, what changes would you do to the deck, if you had any to do. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the updated Skull Servant deck profile, and that will be all for today, guys. This is LockYGO, I'll see you on the next one, out!